this video, we are going to compose, food style, and light a burger that looks just like McDonald's from start to finish. So I'm joined today by Henriette, pro food stylist, and she is gonna get us started on the food styling, and we'll take it from there. Are you ready?
Sounds good, I'm ready.
Let's go.
All right, so first we start with our bun. We have to prepare our bun. I've already pre-cut it. I've selected the best piece. So I'm
When
going
you
to...
say best piece, what do you mean by best piece?
It means that it has a relatively round top and less wrinkles out of the whole batch. And I try to cut them equally, and I check the bottom and the top, so this would be like a good angle to shoot this burger from, because the bottom is not so wrinkled, it doesn't have sesame seeds, it's cut nicely. So now we're going to start toasting them to create the toasted effect with a heat gun. I'll turn it upside down so it will not continue wrinkling and getting all wilted. So then I press it down slightly and I continue to toast the top part.
What was this tool? Is it like just a normal
It is
gun?
It's a heat gun. It's called a heat gun. I think they use it for stripping paint actually from a background. So I have a McDonald's looking reference, so I'm going to start to build it accordingly. And I can see that they started adding the cheese first onto the bun.
Honestly, we're not really like fussed too much today about like the build and stuff, but like if you were working with a client, they'll probably give you the build and you have to kind of stick to that.
Yeah. I need to get an understanding of the style of the burger where we're going for, because there is the set styling and there is the actual food styling part. So even the burger can look natural, it can look staged, it can look, there's so many instructions how to stylize a burger.
But today we're free because we're not really working for a client, but we want to make something that looks juicy, that looks commercial,
right,
and that is similar to what McDonald's would be having on their billboards.
Yeah, so first I would start with my cheese, and as you can see, these are like sliced American cheese that I have pre-cut. You can see the edges, because once you start opening the pack, it's not actually, the edges are not very clean. It gets damaged many times, or you will see the pattern from the foil.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you had all these little strips here. I thought that was actually part of the styling, but there you go.
And I melt the cheese using hot water, not with the heat gun, because the heat gun will create bubbles on the cheese and it will burn it. And I don't want it to be too melted because our reference is not too melted. So I just lightly coat it with the water, melt it carefully, and then I add it on the bun.
What happens if this goes on set and then the client says, I need it more melted? Because this is something I've often heard. Oh, it doesn't look melted enough.
Yeah, so we try to understand, that's why we get a reference from the client and try to understand how melted the cheese needs to be. But I also like to work with them in layers, so I like when they are around and I can ask these questions.
So it's harder to kind of do then later
Very
on.
difficult to melt it when there is lettuce on the top, so you'll burn the lettuce. But now I can see, for example, that this part is not melted and I would like to show the cheese that's melted on all edges. So I'm gonna remove this, which is perfectly fine, it happens. And I'm gonna remelt it and create a nicer triangle effect.
So whilst Henriette is doing that, Thomas, can we just come around quickly? Because if we were on a actual client shoot, whilst the food stylist is kind of making a burger and doing her thing, we would have a stand-in. So right now, I've actually only got a couple of buns on set, and I would start testing my light with just these stand-in buns, or even like a quick fake burger, as it were, that hasn't been styled. I will show you what the final image looks like, but if you want the full lighting breakdown, then there's a link in the description box below where you can grab the full lighting from start to finish. We will build the lighting in stages, so you'll be able to see exactly how we are starting with our key light, our fill light, any other extra lights, reflectors, etc. So if this is something that is of interest to you and you want to shoot a burger that will be for commercial purposes, whether it's for KFC, whether it's for McDonald's, then this lighting style will break that down for you.
What lettuce did you get, Sukaino?
The one you told me to get. So
Which
I really
is?
like this. I think it's called Lolo Biondi. In case the name is any different, I will like note that in the description box. But you did ask to get like the normal lettuce, and then I know when I've been on set, I've seen this lettuce, and I just thought it looked a lot more green than your normal lettuce, and that's why I wanted.
It is. It's super nice. I really like this one.
But
Doesn't
obviously, if
matter-
you're working for a client, you have to stick to what they want.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're just kind of breaking them off and building it.
Right now, yes. So basically, because it's very pretty, but it can get to be very overpowering. See, I'll show you an example. If you put it like this, then it's gonna be just really too much lettuce. But what we
covers
can
half
do
the cheese and half the
exactly.
bun.
So what I'm doing is just I'm breaking it up into smaller pieces. So I want to keep the shapes, I want to keep the curves, and I don't want it like everywhere.
Okay, so you've got your lettuce ready.
Yes.
What's happening now?
So I have cooked the patties, and I just cook them enough so that basically they don't fall apart.
Sorry, where did you get these patties from?
I bought them frozen actually. So it's very important to fry them when they are frozen, because then they will keep the shape. And the shape is one of the most important things, and after that comes color. So now once we have the required shape, after that we're going to color it. As you can see, I've colored these ones already.
Ah, yeah, because I noticed this is a lot shinier than this one here at the back.
Yeah, and the color is much darker. So
I thought
have
it was just
created-
over fried.
No. So basically I've created like a concussion of my different sauces. These are browning agents that are mixed with
Like Maggi and things
yeah,
like
like soya sauce and browning liquid. Yeah, and I'm just going to apply with a brush, and it depends how much the meat is going to show. So I'm applying a little bit on the outer edges. See the difference? Here, this is the uncooked patty, and this is the one that I'm colored. So you just fine tune the way you want, and then if it looks too dry, then I will just add a little bit of oil, and then you can do that before taking the final shot as well, so it doesn't look dry and it looks super juicy. And the other thing I'm going to do, and not for this particular burger, but I just wanted to show you that I have this equipment, which is an electric charcoal starter, and it gets heated up really quickly. It's an iron rod basically, and you can add the grill marks using this machine, and I'll just show you what happens when you add the grill marks. You just touch it gently for a very short period of time.
This looks very dangerous.
It is. So be careful.
I have a question for you. You're
Yeah.
not putting it directly on this juiced one.
No,
Would
I
you
just
put it before the sauce, like before this browning agent?
True, you can add it before. I usually add it before, but because today we're not actually going to use the
Yeah.
grill marks, I just wanted to show you that in case you wanted to do it for one of your clients, then
Got it.
please go ahead. Yeah. So, and it depends again how much of the patty is going to show. Are you going to show the top part? If so, if the top part is going to show, then you can add the grill marks on the top. But generally in a burger, because we are shooting it side shot, you're going to add the grill marks on the sides. And then what you can do is add some on the top and then continue the line on the side.
That looks amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Super.
Okay, so now I'm going to add the patty. Like I said, I've selected the best looking one.
I mean, for me, as a non-stylist, they all look the same, but I guess a pro stylist knows which is the most good looking of the bunch.
We are checking textures, we are checking consistency in terms of the look of the patty. And I can already see, so for example, I'm testing even what my lettuce looks like by adding the patty, because once you add the patty, that's when you can see the shapes and the textures and the structure, and I can see that already the patty is leaning towards the left, so I need to elevate it. There's different ways to elevate it. I usually just use a tissue. You can use like a makeup sponge. You can use mashed potato in the back.
Before we actually started rolling, we were just saying that the back is basically not being styled for camera. So we're really just focusing on the front half of the burger, and at the back is where all our sins are gonna show.
So there is a lot of changes, a lot of fine tuning. You want to show the cheese, you don't want the lettuce to be overpowering, but you don't want to hide it either. And yeah, I'm kind of happy with that one. So what I need to do, I need to grab another piece of cheese because I would like to melt some cheese on the top. And I can see that the cheese is so soft already. So instead of just removing the plastic, I'm going to cut it. Yeah. As you can see, I don't need to cut it with a knife after that. And then I'm going to check first where the cheese is going to go. I can see that one edge is not perfectly clear.
So I like how the triangle of the cheese is like in different directions.
Yeah, I really like it also. So then you want to make sure that once you do the second layer of cheese, then it's going to go the opposite direction or somewhere else. We don't want repetitive shapes.
Yeah.
That looks nice.
So while we're waiting for that hot water, tell me about these contraptions, because yeah, Thomas was eyeing these before.
I'm absolutely in love with these squeeze bottles. To be honest, I got this idea from another food stylist, and thank you so much. This is amazing because you don't need another piping bag to add the sauce inside of a small squeeze bottle. Usually use very, very small squeeze bottles. So you can just open the top, squeeze it in there, and then it's ready to go. The other thing that I used to use before discovering this was these really, really small pipettes. This is my one and only, and I don't have another one. I've been using it for about 5 years. I don't know where I bought it, and this is the best one. And then you can just take the sauce from another bowl and then apply it onto the burger. One other thing I wanted to do is double check whether the patties are matching, and I can already see that this patty is a little bit bigger, so I want to put that at the bottom. And I'm going to melt this cheese on the top of that. I've already aligned on the location, just quickly melt it because I can see that it's very hot. And if I need to pull the cheese to the edges, then I'm just going to break it from the back and then create a little bit more melted effect. Okay, I'm adding the second layer.
So whilst she's adding the second layer of cheese, or rather the third layer of cheese, I just want to quickly explain a little bit more about the set in terms of what backgrounds we're using. Right now, we just have a plain white foam board that we've stuck on here. And then we have basically mounted a white paper roll on a C-stand at the back. And the reason for that is, Pritam, if you actually just move out the C-stand at the back just to show them why it's here, I'll just open this up on my camera. So we're on a straight on angle because we want to see all the layers of the burger. So we're fairly straight on, and now you can see the rest of the set on the back, which is why we have that C-stand in. You can pop that back in now. So now we have like a white continuous paper. You can use a continuous sweep as well. We didn't have it on set, so we just chose to have a white foam board and the white paper roll in the back. But once we get to the lighting, you will see that there is a bit of a horizon line. And honestly, when it comes to commercial burger shoots, as long as your background is white, I'm not really going to concern myself with the texture of the background, any horizon lines, because technically what will be done in retouching is we'll just cut the burger and the shadow out and put it on a plain white background. So as long as you have something white, even something gray, then you are good to go.
I'm just adding some pickles. You could add tomatoes, whatever ingredients the client is using.
So my concern right now would be that because we are adding hot layers on the lettuce, that the lettuce is going to start dying. Is it going to start dying, or will it survive this hot cheese? The patties obviously weren't that hot, but... Yeah.
So I made sure to wait to add the lettuce because I didn't actually use very, very hot water to melt the bottom layer of the cheese.
Got it.
Yeah. Do you want to add some more lettuce on the top?
I don't know. Nice. You tell me. Whatever you think will visually look good. That's the beauty of today's burger shoot for a non-client.
Let's add a little bit of lettuce, not too much, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, because the one at the bottom is just peaking anyway. It's not really overpowering at all, so it'd be nice to... And any time in terms of food styling where we can add greens or reds to especially meats, burgers, it's always a good thing.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to highlight, if you wanted to secure some of the lettuce, you could use mashed potatoes, or you could use cream cheese. And sometimes when I don't have any of those, I use basically hummus. So what it's going to do is it's going to serve as a glue at the bottom, and then you can just insert the lettuce here.
So is this securing the lettuce in place?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Why don't you just use a pin? I've seen that used on
other
because
sets. The pin, once you secure it and you want to remove it or you want to adjust it, then it's not possible. With this, you can. And as you can see, it's creating a bit of elevation. And if you wanted less elevation, you can just simply press it down. And then wherever I see empty areas or holes, then I'm going to add the onion in there. So let's just see.
How have you cut these onions? So this is a normal white onion.
I've created different shapes actually, because this is the creative process, right? So it's up to us how we wanted to add them. So I have like small cubes and longer pieces as well. If you're going for the cubey look, you can also use the longer pieces, because then you can just insert it all the way to the end and it's just going to be peeking out as if it was a cube.
I always think they look like tusks.
I mean, that's just the style.
So these aren't cooked then?
No.
Oh, I'm excited to get this on set to see what it looks like.
Yeah, and then, you know, my job is actually not done here.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
I'm done here,
I think it
I'm
almost
not
starts.
done.
Yeah.
It starts there.
It starts on set when like
So-
a client say, "Can we get more lettuce?" Oh,
Yeah, exactly. So after all
more
this,
more
my
sesames
work,
on the bun.
after that, just my work will start.
I remember I did a shoot once where, you know, the whole sandwich was built, which takes a long time when you're doing like commercial styling. Got
Yeah.
it on set, you know, set the lighting, did everything. This is like 3 hours in. The image got sent somewhere else to another higher up
Yeah.
in the company, and suddenly the lettuce was the wrong lettuce.
Oh no.
And yeah, we had to start that from scratch.
Oh no. Was it at the bottom of the sandwich?
Probably, but that particular stylist used pins.
Oh, okay.
So it was like we had to start from scratch.
Cream cheese. it
Cream
is.
cheese is the answer.
But really, like, not all the time I have all the ingredients available. So then you just have to be creative and use any material that could be sticky. That's why I said the majority, 80% of the time, I just ended up using hummus, for example, whatever is available in the restaurant. For example, if I have to do like a last-minute burgers
Yeah.
there.
So we talked a little bit about the background, the white background with a sweep at the back. We talked about camera angle. So generally with burgers, straight on, or sometimes even a little bit below the height of the table so that the burger can be a real hero in the shot. But what we didn't talk about is the lens that I'm using. So when it comes to burgers, the only lens that I used is the 100mm macro lens. So that's what I've got on here today. I've set my aperture to around f16, I think, because I want to make sure that everything on this burger from front to back is completely sharp. Now, I would say about 1.5 meters away. So depending on what lens, like how far you are from the lens to your burger, you might need to actually still focus stack. And that's something we'll talk a little bit about in the lighting video, because even at f16, which is one of the highest apertures, likely, and I've put my focus on the front, kind of the front area of the layering of the bun, the back of the bun, especially on the top part, will be likely out of focus. So once we are at our final like end where the burger's been approved, all our lighting is good to go, I will take a shot where the front of the burger is in focus, and then any other areas where the focus needs to change, I will kind of change my focus, and then we'll put it all together in post-production.
So this is where the dummy is. This is where Sukaina has set up her lighting. So I'm gonna make sure to edit there, and it's great because there's already
Yeah, we have a
mark.
nice grease mark.
Amazing. This is very, very helpful. And I'll try to see what was my angle. So I think this
So obviously
should be
we-
facing the camera.
the middle
this
one.
piece of cheese, yes.
And then obviously once we set up our lighting, we will sauce it right at the end.
Yes.
Actually, I might go a little bit lower on my camera now that I have this burger in front of me. So I've made sure that I'm literally focusing on the front of my burger. So I put my focus point exactly on like this patty here. So I put the focus on the lens on manual focus, then I've just pressed the shutter halfway down, focused using auto, and then I've now locked the focus in, so it's locked now. And let's get started with our lighting. So I've turned on one light now. We're actually going to be using probably a 3-light setup, but I want to start off with my key light first. Literally just turned it on, and we'll take a shot and we'll see what that looks like, and then we will start to build our lights from there. Okay, so at 1/4, let me just take a quick shot just to show you where we're starting out, and that's where we're at. And I'm going to show you a final shot on the screen of what the final lighting looks like. So this is where we end here now. If you want to grab the lighting video, you can get it for this month only. It's linked down below, and I will take you from start to finish to take this burger from what it looks like right now to what it looks like on the other side of the screen. This is our final shot. And if you have any suggestions on what you would like Henriette to style next, then make sure you comment down below, and you never know, it might be on the channel next.